Sasquatch. We haven't seen anything yet,
I'm sure
um,
you will.
but
Right?
we're still hopeful. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the whole thing, right? So I'm just gonna continue on the video. If you
All
have
right.
anything you'd like to say, just tell me to pause it, and we'll just like switch on over.
Other than, you know, one word of mouth. No, people go looking for gorillas. They have a guide who have a relationship with the gorillas. But when they first go up there, those gorillas aren't going to let them come anywhere near them until they kind of get a feel for the humans and, okay, they're not a threat. They get a little more comfortable and come in closer. I think it's the same deal with Sasquatch, if they exist, that they'd have to see you up here for, you know, like a month. Paul Freeman was coming up here for years. But the benefit of walking this trail versus taking some off-road vehicle is that this is all muddy and I'm looking for tracks.
Hey, don't get lost, buddy.
All right, it's about as far as I'm gonna go. I took an offshoot trail off that road. And just gonna hang out here for a bit, just chill. Maybe something will come in close.
Yeah, like a wildcat or something.
Of course, I think that's just something people do to feel proactive. I don't think I'm fooling anything out here by making that sound. Maybe
you
anything,
look
I'll just get
too
one
human, man.
or a young one maybe answers back for some reason.
Maybe you
Then
should
maybe a
have
slap
dressed
across the
up
wrist
as a
by its family.
Sasquatch. You would have had better luck.
Otherwise, wouldn't they know I'm here? I think it's probably more of a militaristic approach with them where during the day they're sleeping. And I've heard there may even be some that keep watch during the day while the rest of the group sleeps, like a family pack. And as soon as somebody else comes in, they move into the group and warn them and then move on. Or not, or that's all made up. Here we go. Sasquatch Field Guide by Dr. Jeff Meldrum. One of the biggest names in Bigfoot, man. If anyone, I hope it's real for him. In Meldrum's case, he studies the footprints that are found.
Wait, pause. Hold on. Did you hear that?
In this field guide.
He took a shot. He took a shot. You see that? Back it up. What he says was for this guy who's one of the biggest names in the field, I hope he's real for him. For that one man's sake, because he is a true believer, but this guy is not a true believer. That was right there. He just took a shot at somebody.
I do believe in Sasquatch.
Sasquatch Field Guide by Dr. Jeff Meldrum. One of the biggest names in Bigfoot, man. If anyone, I hope it's real for him.
that's like bless your heart.
Oh man.
All right.
In Meldrum's case,
kind of a shill. He doesn't believe at all.
No.
Okay. That are found, and he considers.
Well, good thing, because I don't really believe either.
There's that the most compelling evidence. So in this field,
I do. Hold on. I do. I go back to the Sumerian tales. Sasquatch was probably Enkidu, or that breed of man.
Okay.
I've heard that before. That is weird. I've always thought that was a strange jump from an American feature to a Sanskrit tablet. That's a pretty good hop, bro.
Well, don't forget they do exist all over the world. The Yeti are pretty much the same kind of animal.
Sir, I am a Caucasian Sasquatch. We are everywhere. We are legion.
So yeah, I do believe they are everywhere. Everywhere there's wild areas.
All right. Let's go back to the video.
All about tracking and identifying those tracks. But what a cool thing to have out here. Maybe something like that right now is watching me. If nothing else, just coming out here and connecting with nature, just sitting here and being quiet and listening to the subtle sounds of the forest, a bubbling brook. It's absolutely magical. If Bigfoot gets you out into the forest, great, whatever gets you out into the forest. If this leads us to want to conserve land and set aside land and protect it and realize its importance, then great. That's what I love about Sasquatch. At a time where we have just taken over the planet and destroyed forests all over the world, that there would still be this species that's one with the forest, one with nature, How do you not fall in love with that?
So he's a leftist shill. He'll just say whatever he has to get his
Starting to get creepy.
eco thingy done.
I think just sitting here alone for a bit,
Uh,
it heightens your senses, and I think that's what this is
some
all
may
about.
say.
It's about quieting your volume. We're such a loud species. Sit in the woods, be incredibly still in Sasquatch habitat.
And that's what's happening when you're sleeping, bro.
Your normally suppressed senses. I'm a believer that we all have a sixth sense, and we just don't tap into it. A psychic once told me that.
Is he gonna start crying?
And the thing that differentiates
The psychic once told me
versus those who don't is that they just simply tap into it, and they do that by accepting something that we commonly reject. Whenever something happens, you think you saw something, you think you saw a ghost, the subconscious mind immediately rejects it. It's a defense mechanism. Nope, you didn't see that. Nope. But she says that there is something there. You did see something, and you protected yourself.
We all know how important music is.
Too bad I can't protect myself from this.
To create and
those who experience this type of stuff
you
have
drop
a
the link
willingness
backstage.
to
You can do it.
not immediately reject.
You got to pay
not
OTW.
subconsciously
I know.
be open to a spiritual realm. Be open to whatever it is that's going on,
you know,
and then they experience
it
that.
should be free for
Being out there,
broadcasters.
I don't know how much I do want to open myself up.
Bro, I
It's pretty
totally
scary.
agree.
And I think most
I mean,
Ads.
no, seriously, it should be free for YouTubers that broadcast. We shouldn't have commercials.
It
Right.
should be
Right,
ad free
when-
for podcasters. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Because, and I'll tell you why. We
Because
already
I really like that idea, and I don't want to pay for it. That's
no,
why.
but we're already giving 30% of our gains when
Ooh, that's good. I
so
like
why in the fuck would I want to pay another $10 a month on top of that just to get no ads? It's like you could offer it to
Right?
us. We're already making you money. Can you like just
Oh,
offer it to us
man,
for
that's
fucking
deep.
free?
that works. I like that because somebody who's been broadcasting for years and makes $9 a freaking month turns around and has to pay an extra dollar just to get it without ads. That sucks.
Right. You know, when you're here working practically for them, making them money, you know, it's like, hello, bastards.
I get my people.
Oh, Mecky, it's not time to call me now. Why does she always call me when I'm live? It's like go and
It's
chat.
not just you, bro. I have the same problems.
The damn city sucks. All right, I'll just like keep playing this video so it'll end.
The world can relate with that. They don't want to open themselves up. They want to feel safe. Now, that's more of a spiritual thing and a ghost thing, but maybe this whole sixth sense approach, maybe that does relate to Bigfoot. I don't know. I approach it from a biological aspect, and I assume that this is a real species that is biological and not some spiritual connection, because I just don't think you can solve one mystery with an even bigger mystery. It doesn't mean that it's not the case, though. Maybe it is. But if it's a spiritual thing, we will never have proof. My God. All right, finishing my break. Spent a while here. It's pretty great. It's my favorite part of the hike, just sitting here and being quiet. Now I gotta go back about 4 miles to the car. I've given anything potentially in the area time to come in close to me and check me out, or to say to each other, hey, there's an idiot up over on that hill making noise. Let's stay the hell away from him. But either way, let's go.
He doesn't knock on it often enough.
You've actually remote viewed the Sasquatch.
Well, I have a long ways to go. And the only issue
Kinda
here
neat.
is that
Pause for a
the
second.
temperature is dropping quickly. So we gotta move.
OTW?
Oh,
Pause?
sorry. Hold on a second.
He's not doing
Yeah,
anything.
sorry about that.
Yeah, we remote viewed the Sasquatch, their society. What we found, like, I don't know if you guys know how remote viewing works. It's a blind guessing game. So I give you a number, that number links to a target. The target in this case was the Sasquatch Society. And what people saw was families and parties, but barriers. Everything seemed to be a barrier. There was things in their way, like roads and cities and all that. They just kept running into barriers. But they were having a good time.
So what are you trying to imply that the Sasquatch might have counter remote viewing capabilities, like they can block signals or whatever, like they can like some sort of
No, I don't think they cared that we were remote viewing them at all. If they knew, they probably would have been fine with it. Yeah, it was just looking at their life, right? So they were having little parties, and yeah, they kept running into barriers, the stuff that we put in their way. But it was amazing that that was what people actually came up with. It was very congruent to their type of lifestyle, I guess, or whatever they're living.
Yeah, it might be.
You know,
maybe they want to believe so hard that it's like they can, like how can I say this? Like they fucking create it.
With this being a place with a healthy population of black bears, mountain lions, and wolves, you have to think that just from a food standpoint, this would be good enough for Sasquatch species to exist. If it's good enough for black bears, could do the same for a Sasquatch, because you gotta think a big black bear would be about 400 pounds, and it's remote enough to still have wolves. I can see the car. That was an awesome hike. I don't think I really saw any hard evidence. I don't think I saw anything that was just mind-blowing at all. No tree breaks. I saw the tracks, likely 2 footprints put together to make it look like a bigger track. So now I'm just gonna drive back to my campsite and see what happens. We still got more time. All right, I'm back at my campsite here. Gonna get fire going. I don't think there's anybody else up in these mountains, so things could get creepy. I've spent some time up here, walked for miles in either direction. I'm now on night 2 in the same spot. So hopefully, if there is something anywhere near in the area, maybe they're slightly accustomed to me now being here.
But you weren't there.
Right.
Beef jerky. Pretty sure that's dangerous to be eating in Sasquatch country.
I just heard the strangest
Yeah,
bird
it's
sound.
supposed to be Jack Links, bro.
If it was the middle of the night, that would have scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't look like it though.
It wasn't. It wasn't. That's the problem.
Oh,
you gotta
so
be you gotta be eating Jack Links if you're gonna be messing with Sasquatch. That's just law.
Okay, I get it. I understand that, man. That makes so much sense too. I mean, hey,
that is true. It is a
Right.
fact.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta ask AI if this is true. Okay, here's the question. When you meet up with a Sasquatch, do you really absolutely need to have Jack Link's beef jerky, or any other kind of beef jerky will do?
Why is your question so broken?
I don't know.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, hit that. We'll see what we get with it.
All right, so it says, okay, And now that's, hold on, let me bring this full screen here because I can't see fuck all. All right, it says, now that's a real survivalist question. If you run into a Sasquatch, tradition and commercial mythos tells us that Jack Link's beef jerky is basically the piece of offering of choice. According to the ads, it keeps you from getting tossed into a river or punted into a pine tree. So sure, it's got brand power with the cryptid community. Wow. Okay, but
Call me.
hold on. There's a but, right? Okay, and I have somebody backstage. Please be patient. I'll get with you right in a moment. From a purely tactical and folkloric perspective, any beef jerky will do, as long as it's sufficiently smoky, packaged loud enough to signal your presence, okay, and ideally not teriyaki flavored.
Exactly.
Unconfirmed,
It's
but
true.
rumor has it Sasquatch hates sweet meat.
Well, I can confirm this. This is absolutely true.
This is good.
I would rather have straight smoked jerky. Thank you.
Here are the bonus points, right? If it's elk or venison jerky, might even earn you respect. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Venison or elk. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Even
it
buffalo.
says,
Like if you get buffalo meat, oh man, they would respect you so much because a buffalo is gigantic. To take
Right.
down a buffalo and give the meat away, wow, you must be high status.
okay, so
I am.
no, it doesn't have to be Jack Link's. But if you roll up with some off-brand gas station jerky, just be prepared to mess with Sasquatch at your own risk, okay? And
Right.
that's it. That's it. That's what we got. So, okay, guys. I mean, you're right. Jack Link's is the preferred Sasquatch brand. We got Sneaker Chop. Sneaker Chop. It's Wave Sneaker Chop.
There is one other thing.
Sneaker Chop, wave at us.
If you bathe in Dr. Squatch, you have a better chance.
Man, why do I have a porn bomber backstage?
Because you're an unwise man.
Okay. Dude, flip me the finger if you're actually a Sneaker Chop. It's like, flip me the finger. Show me your finger. Any finger. It's like, put your hand up at least. Hello? I see you back there. You know, you hear me? Put your hand up. Put your hand up, wave. Oh, boy. I'm going to have to kick you off, man, because you're not complying. Yeah, hold on a second. Kick from studio. Either you wave at me, dude, or I'll kick you from the studio. Wave. No waving? Goodbye. All right. There you go. We can move on. Now, there's a...
Boy, you got a spam artist going on over here of some form. I can't fix that.
Oh, my God. We got some dude spamming shit in chat. Oh, my God.
Yep.
What's going on?
And homie had that stuff sitting around waiting.
Okay.
I can't fix it. You took away my wrench. There you go. Good job, little buddy.
Yeah, I got that. That's long time no see. Wow, have I all of a sudden become interesting to the? I was like, what happened to the channel? Something happened all of a sudden? Am I getting into the algos or something? Is YouTube like, hey, something's happening with this channel?
Yeah, stop talking about Sasquatch.
Something's happening with this. It's getting interesting. People are showing up, man. You gotta go porn bomb it or something.
Yeah, we gotta stop that. We can't have it.
Yeah, we can't have.
That's a nice vestibule.
Man.
Love that word.
All right, let's play the video. It's almost done anyway.
I'm thinking I'll explore this area, do a little bit of night hiking for my final night. Should be creepy.
Is this the best survival game ever made?
No, it isn't.
This is the aircraft carrier shelter you seized.
Wow.
I might hike the trail where the Freeman footage was shot.
You
But
might
do it at night this time.
Ooh, scary.
They say to hike forestry roads at night in Sasquatch habitat if you want to have an experience. Well, how about hiking the trail?
All right, like welcome to the 31 people watching right now. Hit the like button and share this out, guys. And shout out to Sasquatch's
Burger
audience.
I think Burger Plant just rated you, bro.
I see you 5/5. Who rated me?
I think Burger Plant. I don't know who that is.
Burger Plant? Well, shout out to Burger Plant for the raid. I don't see raid alert or anything.
No, I don't think it's a YouTube type raid. I think it's just dropping a link in another live chat. They're probably restreaming us or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
All right. Well, shout out to you guys. If any of y'all want to be a member of the broadcast, go ahead and click that join button.
Drop the StreamYard link backstage and I'll drop it on my chat.
All right. I can do that. It's not too complicated. I've learned how to do that over time. There it is. Welcome to Christina. Shout out to Christina. And we got Tyler's in the house. Goes, who's Burger Planet? I don't know who Burger Planet is. Shout out to Burger Planet.
Burger Planet. Nah.
All right.
Trail, the Freeman film site at night.
Oh, look at that. That's something there. That moon is kind of orangey.
Maybe you'll see a ghost.
I know it may be tough to see me, so I'm gonna try to shine this light on me because my camera light isn't working. All right, I don't know if this is the best idea I've ever had, but let's see what happens.
Nah, it's fine. Cougars and stuff don't hunt at night.
I saw one.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. I can admit.
It went by really quickly.
I still got bear spray here. Do not want to run into a bear in this situation.
Or maybe it was his flashlight. Oh, again. I saw it. There it goes again. Oh, no, that's him. Shit.
It's crocodile eyes.
All right, well, I have to admit, this is about the creepiest thing I've ever done. And these woods couldn't be creepier, man. I have such a scary feeling.
Yeah, I get you. All right, we got some new guests backstage. Hold on a second. Let's welcome Mr. 5/5 to the broadcast. What's up, Doc?
I like
Yeah.
that, my guy. I like that.
Good to see you,
What's up,
Five.
brother?
How my guys doing, man?
Mr.
How's
Million
everybody-
Dollar, is it? Isn't it Mr. Million Dollar?
No, Mr. Millie in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my name, but the name of the channel is 5/5. That's how I had it set up before. Sasquatch goes, yo, change it around. You got to put the name of the channel up top. I was like, oh, okay, so now I do it like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's good, man. Do you believe in Sasquatches?
Well, it doesn't matter what I believe. Is you about to show me one?
Well, we've been looking at this guy who made a documentary, went up 3 days in Blue Mountain, stayed alone, where the Paul Freeman guy filmed the I believe the most popular footage of the I was going to say Caucasian Sasquatch, but actually what I meant was the Sasquatch itself. So
you can see that on OnlyFans.
We're not supposed to mention things like that on live.
Oh, my bad.
All right, so we'll keep moving on with the video and just.
Well, let's see. Yeah, let's see what kind of evidence he has to prove what's going on. Because remember, we have the observer effect now. We have knowledge of that, and now with technology, imagine hovering a drone over a spot where nobody would have ever been and be able to catch footage that nobody was ever been able to see in the past. So it's possible.
Maybe, man. You know, hey, look, anything is possible, dude. Let's just check it out. The guy doesn't seem like a believer, though, but he does seem scared shitless.
That says a lot.
It just feels like something is watching you here. It really does.
That's because a fucking cat's been watching him all day.
Okay, I'm not going any further. This is beyond creepy. Yeah, I don't know. I can't go any further, but it just feels like there's something in here watching me, man. It could just be that I'm in here in the pitch black and that's terrifying. But this feeling is absurd and I gotta go. Okay, I just got back to the fire. That immediately got beyond terrifying the moment I set foot onto the trail. And it just became like a confined space walking down that narrow trail where that footage was shot. I kind of stayed strong for a while and kept going, and then I just couldn't take it anymore. It just
you could have so much been lunch for something.
It's like I was turning around.
Oh yeah,
for 2
he
seconds,
was going to be a cat's lunch.
And then all the way up here to the fire. It's just I'm still so freaking creeped out from that, man.
Yeah. I'm sure you are, man.
If there was any hope for me totally not being creeped out, I screwed it all up by going on that hike.
I don't understand why the light is off if he has a fire.
Man, chills the whole way. I was overwhelmed by that. Never experienced that level of fear.
I wonder if he hears the music.
Dark before. And my eyes started watering.
What the hell? Oh my god.
Yep.
That's
VXJ Live says sometimes he feels like Sasquatch is watching him.
As funny as I am, I mean, he didn't know that at the time, but maybe he did.
Yeah, it was definitely prophetic.
I've never really been this creeped out camping before.
This guy's too much of a pussy to get abducted by Sasquatch.
Yeah, man. He's that's it. That's what I've been noticing, man. This guy's been freaking out the whole time. It's like he spend more time worrying about his
like
own
you got to
safety.
dump that flashlight and walk out into the darkness.
Hold on, bro. You don't know how many mushrooms he ate.
I'm trying to figure out, right? If you, my guess, I'm just guessing here. He doesn't have the light on his head because he doesn't want to draw attention, right? But you got a fire in front of you, so you might as well just turn on the light now. You don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
of course.
a lot of
no
our fear
animal, no
Yeah.
animal or beast is gonna they're gonna see fire and smell fire. I don't think they're gonna approach the fire. They're gonna stay away because that shows humans are close. Would it not?
Every animal within a couple miles knows exactly where he is.
Exactly. And I don't know if it's his own mind creating this fear or if he's doing it for the camera. I don't know.
I maybe a little of both. Maybe the guy is he actually seems a little freaked out, but he might be over exaggerating. Who knows? It might be for the content.
It might be the mushrooms.
And I'm not mad if he's doing it for the content. That means he's taking it serious.
Well, he's a non-believer. So this is at least that part is genuine, right? It's like at least he's not going there thinking that there is actually he's going to find a Sasquatch. He doesn't believe that they're real.
Because I just can't overcome the chills. I've had chills. It's not because I'm cold. I've had chills for an hour. Feelings aren't facts. I know that. But I'm overwhelmingly creeped out. And I backpack alone all the time. There's something about these woods. There's something about this area. There's something about tonight. Maybe it's the fact that I'm here on my second night. And it's just dead quiet. That's what I'm here for, though, right?
Creepy. Oh, there, behind the tree. Did you see it? I think he missed it.
There aren't even any bugs or frogs that I've been hearing.
I saw E.T.
Last night, today, no birds, no sounds, nothing.
Yeah,
Birds don't make sounds at night. Don't get those ain't birds making sounds at night.
Yes, owls make sound at night.
Owls, night larks, night hawks. You got what's that freaking bird in South America? The ghost bird, guapos or whatever.
Their homes.
Yeah, but it's because he's there. That's why there's like you mentioned before. Like it's like for miles, all the animals know where he is right now. Like so, they're all gonna stay away. I mean, I'm surprised he's not being eaten by.
Well, they'll watch him too.
Mosquitoes.
Some of them will watch him. Some of them will stay away. The big cats will watch him.
Well, usually you'd see a pair of reflecting eyes or something, like a raccoon or whatever.
Raccoon with a meth pipe.
Right, man, that was so funny.
Dude, I cried.
I fucking laughed.
I cried. It was so funny. And I was like, where is this, Florida? And he was like, no, Ohio. And I was like, that checks out.
Oh my God. Raccoons trying to smoke the meth pipe. That was fucking epic. Okay, the entire time I was on the trail, there was an unexplainable level of fear. Yeah.
It was the mushrooms, bro. You're not supposed to do mushrooms before you go looking for Sasquatch. You find Sasquatch, then do the mushrooms.
And then suddenly it was gone.
All right.
Then suddenly he got sober.
Subsided. Thank goodness. We got an absolutely huge fire going.
Whew, that trip's over.
Moon is out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's sober now.
The back trip's over.
Thank God. This is what it just normally feels like camping.
Hey, yo, Dusty, funny as hell. He said, did someone say meth pipe?
Which is a little creepy.
That's how you summon a powdered Dusty, though.
This is great. God bless a fire. All right, we're here, so let's embrace it, right? The way that echoed.
Oh.
If I heard anything back right now, oh man, I'd be out of here.
now he's freaking
Where
out
would
again.
you go in the dark, bro? Where are you going?
This guy looks like a stock model.
See,
He's
that's
afraid to go to the trail. Where the hell is he at?
well, not only that, if you've ever tried to do any night hiking, that is crazy. Even on a really bright, like full moon night, it's dangerous, bro.
Oh yeah, you get in a thicket of trees, you can't see shit. You walk right up.
Even if you're on a trail. The thing is, you never know. There could be a limb across the trail in the shade, and you won't know until you're, cracked your skull on a rock.
You won't even know then because you'll, won't be around to talk about it.
You won't know until they show up and, measure your body and try to figure out who you are.
Yeah, and who did that to you?
Well, no, all they got to do is look and be like, oh, look, a stick, a rock, his head. Yeah, this asshole was walking at night. See the flashlight over here? There's some Jack Link's beef jerky. He's looking for Sasquatch, obviously.
Jack Link's beef jerky. This guy was Sasquatch hunting.
All right, good morning. I'm happy to see the daytime. It wasn't too bad late last night.
Here comes a
when I first got
bear.
to the campfire after going down the trail where the Freeman footage was shot. Going down there into dark last night was petrifying.
This is the funny part, right? Where he's standing like this, and you see, sideways a bear or a fucking, mountain lion or whatever just jump him from the side while he's talking. That's like, I got a great imagination, or I watch too many movies.
I was overwhelmed by fear. Like it was almost unexplainable. I would have ran out of there if I could have. Couldn't bear it any longer. I've hiked at night, and this wasn't like any hike I've done at night. And I got back to the campfire, and it just stayed with me for a while. I was pretty creeped out. All right, well, I am back here one last time at the Paul Freeman film site, one of the most famous pieces of photographic evidence in existence of Bigfoot. It's pretty cool. I couldn't get off this trail fast enough last night. Like I was saying earlier, maybe it's just your senses, or a sixth sense sort of bubbling to the surface when you're alone in the dark. I respect Paul Freeman for the work he put in, all the time he put in out here researching, and everybody else is researching all over the world, putting in the time. You rarely find stuff, so coming forth with your story and not being afraid of ridicule, daring to think different, that's what Bigfoot is all about. Bigfoot represents a willingness to tap into a different sense, to think differently, look at the world a different way, and reconnect with nature. That is Bigfoot.
I thought Bigfoot was a big, hairy animal.
Thank you. That's what my wife says.
And according to him.
Look around. It just feels like Bigfoot exists.
Hold up. So the
Videos,
guy that said
DNA,
facts,
and even a verified body. I'm about to present all the Bigfoot proof officially reported to date, plus evidence of a whole lot more the authorities don't want you to know. For centuries, people across the world have reported encounters with a huge, elusive, bipedal being commonly referred to as Bigfoot. Yet despite thousands of eyewitness testimonies, compelling physical evidence, and a growing body of scientific analysis, mainstream institutions continue to reject the notion of its existence. Why? This documentary sets out to dismantle the skepticism surrounding Bigfoot by presenting all the most comprehensive and meticulously analyzed evidence ever compiled. This is not a film of speculation or folklore. Every piece of evidence presented has undergone scrutiny by experts, including scientists,
forensic
believe the
analysts, and
experts.
experienced outdoorsmen. From historical records and indigenous oral traditions to modern sightings by police officers, military personnel, and park rangers, the consistency of reports spanning centuries is impossible to ignore. Footprints exhibiting anatomical precision beyond human hoaxing capabilities, hair samples and unidentified bodies that defy classification, and video footage that withstands extensive analysis. Each element of this case builds towards a singular, undeniable truth. Bigfoot is real. Beyond physical evidence, we'll also examine the potential reasons behind the continued suppression of information. Why do most scientists avoid this subject like the plague, while a few risk their reputations to study the phenomenon? Why do numerous first-hand accounts suggest that government agencies have actively concealed the truth about these beings? This documentary will address these questions, and many more, providing an airtight case against the dismissals, and debunking all claims of misidentification, hoaxes, and scientific impossibility. By the end of this film, one thing will be clear. The mystery of Bigfoot is not a question of belief, but a question of evidence, and the evidence is overwhelming. Section 1. Historical and Indigenous Accounts of Sasquatch in North America. The legend of Sasquatch is not a modern fabrication, nor is it limited to campfire stories or hoaxes. For centuries, indigenous tribes across North America have passed down accounts of large, hairy,
I was about to say
human-like
that.
beings
That's
that
to
roam
answer
the
your
forests,
question. You
mountains,
tell
and remote
me.
wilderness. Unlike modern pop
Because
culture depictions,
where
these
are the
accounts are
large
deeply
primates
embedded
in
in native
America?
traditions,
You're
often
looking at
portraying
them.
Sasquatch as a real,
And we have a
unrecognized
summer
presence
cold,
in their
so
lands. Many indigenous tribes
what a
across
wonderful
Canada
time to
and the
look
United
at.
Yeah, well, I was just giving you guys an example of a Sasquatch. Yeah, the narrator was describing him to the T. Yeah.
Just this one is cleaned up a little bit. You see how he trimmed his beard?
Yeah. He's got a little bit less facial hair around the eyes and in the forehead, right?
Yeah.
So he's like he obviously shaved that off, and now it's like maybe he uses neat. You know?
Nair.
Aha, we knew it. See, he just puts that cream on there, and it just comes off all by itself. So we have an impression that he actually has a forehead. But after a couple of days, if he doesn't use that cream, man, all that forehead is gone. It's all hair.
It's all natural.
Yeah, its cheeks, they end up all hairy. The whole thing, you got hair coming out of the nose, the ears. It's just like, there's a lot of work involved.
I'm more concerned with the hair that goes into my nose from my mustache.
There you go. See? But that's not actually an actual mustache. He's just saying that because, in his tribe, they call it something else, but we don't know what it is because we don't speak Sasquatch. But, look at these people. These people were Sasquatch hunters, okay? Indigenous tribes that would hunt down the Sasquatch.
United States have names for this creature, treating it as a real and sometimes spiritual being. Next, we'll discuss some of the most well-documented indigenous references to Sasquatch. The St'alis people and Sask'ets. The term Sasquatch itself originates from the St'alis people of British Columbia, Canada, who have long spoken of Sask'ets, a large, hairy, wild man of the woods. According to the St'alis, Sask'ets is not only real, but an integral part of their culture. In 1929, ethnologist J.W. Burns wrote extensively about the St'alis belief in Sask'ets, coining the anglicized term Sasquatch. He recounted the words of a St'alis elder, quote, "The Sasquatch are as real as you and me. They live in the mountains and come down sometimes to visit our people. They are shy but powerful." Chief Les George of the St'alis also affirmed the long-standing tradition of Sasquatch within their culture, stating in a 2009 interview, quote, "The Sasquatch has always been here, long before the white man came. We know where they live and we respect their land. They are another tribe, another people." The St'alis people firmly believe Sasquatch is a flesh and blood being, not a myth. The Lummi people and Semekwes. The Lummi people of Washington state have oral traditions about Semekwes, a tall, hairy being that lives in the forests and mountains. The Lummi describe it as nocturnal, elusive, and incredibly powerful. In the 1920s, anthropologist Marion Smith recorded a Lummi elder's account, quote, "Our people know of Semekwes. He is the watcher of the woods. He can disappear when he wants to. He is not to be hunted or angered." These descriptions align with modern-day reports of Sasquatch's elusive nature and possible intelligence. The Kwakwaka'wakw and Bakwas. The Kwakwaka'wakw people of British Columbia speak of Bakwas, the wild man of the woods. Bakwas is often depicted as a spirit being, but some accounts describe a physical, flesh-and-blood entity. Franz Boas, a pioneering anthropologist, recorded a Kwakwaka'wakw elder's statement in the early 1900s, quote,
"Quack? That almost sounded like a duck. It almost quacked like a duck." We have somebody backstage. Let's just vet whoever's here. I recognize the avatar, but the name is.
Oh, right. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's my audio? Is it okay?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
you've been here.
Brilliant.
You've been here before, haven't you?
I think I have, maybe.
Yeah. Do you know Jess White?
Who is this, Frank?
Oh no, it's Bear.
Bear and no.
Oh yeah, it's a mouthful. It's like Baranovish, but you can just call me Bear.
Right. Yeah, good to go.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. All right. So, what are your thoughts about Bigfoot, Bear?
I do believe it was possible at one point. You know, especially with like Neanderthals and stuff. But I don't know if it's like still the same Bigfoot that's around now. You know what I mean?
You mean the younger generation? They're more. What are you saying?
Think they died off or something?
Well, you're talking about like Sasquatches as a whole. They could be a thing, but I do think they probably did die off.
All right. Yeah. It's possible.
Because, you know, it might just been like a small breeding group or just a small individual group as they are. And, you know, when a group gets so small, breeding does become a problem because you can only breed so much before you expand your lineage. So
well, they do have them in other countries as well. They're called different things, but there's the hairy men of different countries.
Oh yeah, I know Australia has it. They call it the bunya.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've never heard of that in Australia.
Yeah. It was like it's a big Aboriginal thing.
Oh.
Can I say something to the audience real quick?
Yeah.
You show me where else you're gonna get a Sasquatch and a bear on your stage. That alone should make you hit that man's super chat. What are we talking about? Hit that like button if you're watching.
Yeah, listen to Five Fists.
But yeah, I think it's like I do possibly believe that they died off, especially with like some of the technology we've got nowadays. We should be able to find something.
Yeah, we should. Well, they can find every plant, animal, and creature crawling everywhere at the moment.
To be honest, we don't know how many species of chimps there are. We just a couple of years ago, I'm fixed to have a season fit. Just a couple of years ago, they decided they had to have a serious conversation about whether or not the lion killing chimps of Africa were a individual species or chimps. And it turns out, genetically speaking, they're just chimps. It's just that they're on the other side of the river and don't have to compete. So they get bigger, stronger, healthier, and there's not as much forest over there. And so they're ranging a lot farther than the chimps in the forest. Bigger, larger, healthier.
Yeah, true. That is definitely a case because that's what happened with the dodo. The dodo was originally a pigeon that once they settled on an island and didn't have no predators to fear, they evolved into the dodo. So that is possible with the Sasquatch. But I believe that the Sasquatch breeding pool became so small that it was just like a dying thing anyways.
I think the younger generations wanted to mix in with the humans. So they started shaving.
Yeah, potentially.
Freedom has
You know, I haven't heard nobody take that stance on this subject ever. Them shaving. And like I've never heard that perspective about this topic. That's kind of different right there.
You remember when I told you my Sasquatch story? At the time, it was a hobo in a fur coat story. I said he was a bikini wax from voting Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
Right?
So nobody answered Freedom's question. He says, do you guys think we can mate with the Sasquatch ladies?
If you can, get over a little fuzz.
I know you can. Sasquatch is waiting for you to experiment with.
It's okay, Daddy.
Available on Saturday nights between 8 and 10.
Max can set it up for you.
Yeah.
It is actually possible because, you know, if a Neanderthal was still around today, we could breed with them. So if the Sasquatch was on the same lineage, we technically could.
Probably that's what happened. That's why they're so, like rare.
Yeah.
Rebecca Joe, did you say Waka Waka because you told a joke? That's hilarious. Waka Waka.
I was like, where's the Sasquatch Bigfoot located again? Is it Colorado or?
Everywhere.
Yeah. Here it's Washington, they were saying, and some other place.
Ah.
So, all right. There's different variations of it depending on where you're at in the Americas. If you're in the upper Northwest, you're talking Bigfoot, Sasquatch territory. In the upper Northeast, it's almost exclusively Sasquatch Wendigo territory. Down here, it's Sasquatch and skunk ape, right?
Oh, okay.
And then you got like the Indiana Sandman. You've got the Grassman of Omaha. There's dozens of like colloquial names for them all across America.
The Yeti of Alaska.
I didn't even know there was one in Alaska. Oh.
Only in New Jersey does it become a devil.
Isn't that Tony Soprano?
He walks like us, but is taller, covered in hair, and stronger than any man. Some versions of the Buckwest legend describe it as a shapeshifter, but many accounts suggest a biological creature resembling modern descriptions of Sasquatch. The Salish and Skookum. The Salish tribes of the Pacific Northwest refer to Sasquatch-like beings as Skookum. The term originally meant strong or powerful, but it became associated with hairy giants known to inhabit the Cascade Mountains. In 1855, settler James Tilton documented encounters with Skookum in Washington Territory, stating, quote, "The local Indians speak of great, hairy men in the mountains. They call them Skookum, and they claim these creatures steal fish from their nets." Later, the term Skookum was used in connection with the infamous Skookum cast, a possible impression of a Sasquatch body found in 2000. Early settler and Canadian accounts. European settlers in North America also recorded encounters with Sasquatch-like beings, often corroborating indigenous reports. David Thompson's footprint discovery, 1811. One of the earliest documented accounts comes from famed Canadian explorer David Thompson. In 1811, while traveling through the Rockies near Jasper, Alberta, he recorded the discovery of enormous, human-like footprints in the snow. Thompson wrote in his journal, quote, "The track was 14 inches long and distinctly marked in the snow. It was not that of a bear, nor any animal known to us." Modern researchers believe this may have been one of the first non-indigenous reports of Sasquatch footprints. Prospector Albert Ostman's abduction, 1924. Canadian prospector Albert Ostman claimed that while camping in British Columbia, he was kidnapped by a family of Sasquatches and held captive for 6 days before escaping. Ostman described the creatures in detail, including their physical features, behavior, and even their diet. Ostman swore to the authenticity of his story, stating in a 1957 interview, quote, "I was awakened by something picking me up. I was half asleep, and at first I did not remember where I was. As I began to get my wits together, I remembered I was on this prospecting trip, and in my sleeping bag. I could feel myself rise for each step. What was carrying me was breathing hard, and sometimes gave a slight cough. Now, I knew this must be one of the mountain Sasquatch giants the Indian told me about. I know what I saw, and it was no bear. These creatures exist, and I spent almost a week among them." While his story is controversial, it remains one of the most detailed accounts of a prolonged Bigfoot encounter. J.W. Burns and the Birth of the Sasquatch Name, 1929. Journalist J.W. Burns popularized the term Sasquatch after collecting numerous first-hand accounts from the Sta'alis people. Burns wrote, quote,
"Say what?
Maybe he ate the mushrooms from the buffalo poop too."
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to
people of British Columbia speak of Sasquatch not as a legend, but as a living reality. His reports in Maclean's magazine brought Sasquatch into mainstream awareness, leading to increased interest in the phenomenon. Section 2. Modern-day eyewitness accounts. Police, military, and scientists speak out. For decades, skeptics have dismissed Sasquatch sightings as hoaxes, misidentifications, or the product of overactive imaginations. However, with over 80,000 reported sightings in North America alone, doubt becomes considerably harder to maintain. Among these witnesses are many highly credible individuals. When trained professionals, law enforcement officers, military personnel, and respected scientists report encounters with massive, unknown bipedal creatures, it raises serious questions. These individuals have everything to lose and nothing to gain by coming forward, yet they do so because what they saw was undeniable. Officer Dennis Hereford, Oregon, 1970s. Sheriff's Deputy Dennis Hereford was patrolling the back roads of Oregon.
Go ahead.
It's all right. See, it could be like a paleontology mistake as well, you know? Like, you know what they did with like the dinosaurs in the late 1800s, early 1900s?
Could be, I guess. I don't know.
Because, you know, they could have actually found like caveman remains or something like that, and as they've like put it together and sculpted it, they go, oh, this thing is still out there. And
right, that's actually brings to mind a question like, yeah, where are all the Sasquatch bone remains or cemeteries or shit like that, or burial grounds, you know?
It's probably lost throughout time. That happened to a lot of dinosaur bones as well.
Covered with dirt and everything. You'll never find them.
Yeah, they could throw them into lakes or swamps, or a lot of swamp culture.
Well, I mean,
bodies.
Yeah, especially as well as that paleontologists used to make a lot of souvenirs out of like dinosaur bones. You know, like knives and like jewelry, stuff like that.
Doesn't appear to be any Sasquatch jewelry.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't saying. Yeah, I wasn't saying it was like definitive. I was saying it might have been a case of.
Yeah, but you would think if somebody found one,
there's that one Yeti skull cap, right? Like there is a little bit of Sasquatch Yeti type stuff out there. Now, granted, genetically, it's probably from a pongid or orangutan. I had to guess. But I don't know, dude.
Oh yeah, no, it could be a case of that maybe something has evolved into the Sasquatch, you know, because we have found like a lot of evidence where things have evolved.
That would definitely be the case if we could verify that it existed. Something obviously evolved into the Sasquatch. But could it be possible that people are mistaking feral humans as Sasquatch?
Size kind of says no.
I don't know, man. I got a cousin who's 6'9", weighs 325 pounds, and is built very much like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. He is huge.
Yeah.
You throw a first coat on him, he might catch 2 or 3 bullets before somebody stops shooting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably could mistake them for like feral human. You know, you never know.
Oh, maybe. Footprints are kind of odd for human, let's say. Even like they have ones in mud, and some of them, like in the snow, sure, those could expand. But if you've got a mud print, it's going to be pretty much accurate. In fact, it might shrink a little bit.
It could be a case of, well, where you've just adapted to the environment over time. Like people who are born and raised above.
Bunch of inbred people with giant feet.
Well,
there was remember the Blemmy?
He does have eyes.
Or not the Blemmy. There was the 1 foot people that had a giant foot in ancient lore.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There were these 1-footed people in ancient lore that existed. They had a giant foot and only one leg.
Oh yeah, you're talking about what was that? It was Marco Polo, wasn't it? They hopped around on a single huge foot. Yeah.
I don't know if it was
and they lived not far from the Cenobites, the dog-headed people. They were a little further.
Yeah, they're on ancient maps. Like
yeah. Marco Polo became obsessed with all that culture and he tried to find like Shangri-La because he was just like so fascinating to him.
Let's be honest, after you travel all the way across the entire breadth of Asia and see the absolute absurdities that he had seen, you get over there, hear a story about a freaking living heaven. It doesn't seem nearly as absurd as it did when you left Europe.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's welcome King Steven to the broadcast.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Greetings and salutations.
Hello.
All right, we got another guest
So,
backstage.
do you think what's your thoughts on Sasquatch there, King Steven?
Hold on a second before
guy
you
in the
answer.
panel?
Yeah, I
The
got
hairy
somebody
guy on
else
the
coming
panel?
on here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
add Crucible Ghost to the broadcast.
Please?
Oh, wow. Hey, thanks for having me up, man. I really appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah,
I
you've
had a
been here.
question. Yeah, I've been here before, definitely. A couple
Yeah.
times.